started in our vision of Judaism in so many different ways. And one of them is that we have the opportunity to send our kids to many Jewish summer camps around the country. To clarify, and I will defend myself, I believe that on Yom Kippur you will hear from one of the kids who went to Camp Judea. I am a big proponent of Camp Judea as well. And we will hear from them. Today we are going to hear from 4 graduates. And so Ronald, what's going to happen, just so you know, what's going to happen is they're going to speak. Okay. So they're going to need this microphone. Let's see if we can make it all work.
Yes, sir.
All right. Ronald, I know you are doing your absolute best. We love you. We're grateful for you. Okay. Yes. It's all good. It's all good. Okay. All right. I feel things are happening. Things are happening, right? So we're going to hear from 4 of our teenagers, each of whom, 2 of whom finished the same Camp Ramon, which serves the southern United States. One who went to Ramon in the Rockies, and one who went to my alma mater, or the one that I used to run. Anyways, Camp Ramon in California. And I invite you all to come up. I don't know what order you're going in, but we're going to hear about your experiences as graduating campers on this day of Rosh Hashanah. First, Elliot, and you can take off your mask when you're speaking. Yes, they will each begin by giving their names, and they will speak loudly and clearly so everyone can hear them.
Hello, everyone.
My
name is Ellie Alvin. Throughout my many years at camp, I've found a true love for my Jewish community. I've been going to camp for 7 years, starting in Nitzanim when I was 10 and ending in Machon this past summer. The relationships which I built throughout the past years have been irreplaceable. One thing I found extremely meaningful to me was the bond I created with a bunch of kids I spent most of my summer with. As the oldest age group, I was blessed, along with my peers, the opportunity to spend my camp experience influencing younger campers with my love for camp. We traveled to the beach together, did Jewish studies, and ate meals together. I'm thrilled to become a counselor. Being able to be a part of the pure joy which thrives throughout camp was amazing. This past year, my age group camped in the mountains for 5 days, doing various activities which were exciting and nerve-wracking. One thing I found extremely meaningful was unrolling the Torah. We spent multiple hours unrolling the full Torah, finding our bar and bat mitzvah portions. I enjoyed being exposed to how incredibly large the Torah truly is, and seeing our people's stories unrolled before me and my peers. Another exciting event as my last year of Ramah was a tradition called mud hugs. Growing up, I saw my brother and his friends come home from the 5-day trip in the mountains to get covered in mud and march down to the exhilarated campers. After being completely covered in mud, the oldest group sprints into the crowd of campers, covering every single person with all the mud accumulated. Many of my friends brought water bottles and other devices to drench campers in mud. This past year was my time in the spotlight, and I could feel my heart beating out of my chest as we marched down to the waiting crowd. I was intoxicated as I screamed and chanted our camp songs, covering our friends in mud. Camp has been a truly incredible journey, where I've met many lifelong friends and became extremely proud of my Jewish identity. Shana Tova.
Shana Tova, everyone. My name is Ramon. I've been going to Ramon in the Rockies for 6 years. Like other Ramah camps, the oldest age group of campers at Ramon in the Rockies is a leadership program. Campers who are part of the Jewish Outdoor Leadership Institute, or JOLI for short, are given many opportunities to develop lasting leadership experience at camp. As you might have guessed, Ramon in the Rockies is in the Colorado Rockies, hence the name. It's a very remote area in the wilderness. So as part of the JOLI program, we're taught and certified in wilderness first aid, which teaches how first aid should be given in situations where it's difficult to get someone adequate care quickly and difficult with limited supplies. An opportunity that we had lots of fun with was planning Yom Sport, or Color War. Jolie gets to decide the theme for Yom Sport. We pick Star Wars, and we also plan Breakout, which is when we announce the theme of Yom Sport to the rest of camp. Best of all, there's a choice of being a judge or a team captain. As a camper before, I always looked up to the judges and team captains because they give so much energy and so much effort into the day. It was exhilarating to finally be that role that I looked up to for so many years. Another fun opportunity in Jolie was being a counselor in training, or a CIT. As a CIT, you help out with a specific camp activity. I chose biking. Or alternatively, you can also help out as a CIT with a bunk, going with them to their daily activities and eating meals with them. A core part of Ramon the Rockies is going on Masa. Every 2 weeks, all the campers and most of the counselors go on a 2 to 5 day camping trip, which can be hiking, backpacking, climbing, or several other amazing options. In Jolie, we have the choice of either going on an extremely challenging off-trail backpacking Masa or being a CIT on a younger age group's Masa. I chose to be a CIT on the solo lane biking Masa, which is 6th and 7th graders. Luckily, I had another person in Jolie to help support me, and I was also supported by the amazing counselors on that trip. My favorite thing to do at camp is leading Shira after Friday night, after Birkat Hamazon during Friday night, and leading slow Shira before Havdalah. It's one of the smallest Ramah camps, but during Shira, everyone gives so much energy, it's incredible. It's an amazing part of camp, and it's definitely my favorite. Being a smaller Ramah camp, I got to know the people in Jolie very well, and by the end of camp, it felt like a family. Through the endless opportunities given to us in our last camper year, me and the other 19 people in Jolie grew a lot over the summer. My time at camp has been some of the best in my life, and I'm so grateful to have spent it at Ramon the Rockies. Shana Tova.
Shana Tova. I'm Avery, and I went to Ramon this past summer, finishing my final year as a camper in Gesher. Over the 8 years I went to camp, I developed some of the closest bonds, and Gesher 22 feels like a second family. One of my favorite parts of camp is Kabbalat Shabbat, when the whole camp comes together to welcome Shabbat. Normally, some campers might be uninterested in prayer and might not pay attention, but during Kabbalat Shabbat, the entire camp prays together, and the sense of community is incredible. It is rare to have such a big Jewish community in one place and to have such a close connection. Another part of Gesher is being the first to volunteer to help and to set an example as leaders in camp. In Gesher, we always help to make sure that there were 3 minyans a day. Each Edah, or age group, prays together in the morning, and there are optional mincha and mariv services after lunch and dinner. Throughout the summer, several Gesher kids formed the Mincha Mariv Club, where we went to both services every day and made sure that anybody else who wanted to pray could have a minyan with them. As the summer went on, more and more people came to Mincha and Mariv, and it became a routine to ensure that there was a minyan. Throughout my Ramah experience, I've grown in so many ways, and Gesher was the capstone year that put all of my Jewish learning together. On our 8-day trip across parts of the East Coast, I was able to wrap tefillin every morning in incredible locations, ranging from the US Capitol to the Rocky Steps to a rock climbing gym near Philadelphia. Our counselors taught us the meaning and origin of tefillin and why it's so important that we have the luxury of being able to wrap tefillin. We also visited several Hillels at different colleges and learned what Jewish life could be like for us very soon.
Shana Tova. My name is Simone. Camp has always been my second home. I've attended Camp Ramadan for 8 years, and every year I return to see my best friends. We grew up together, making the best memories and looking forward to the summer that we would be in Gesher. Gesher is the last summer as a camper, and there's so much more I got to do compared to previous years. This summer, the kids who previously went in the first or second session come together to spend the whole summer at camp. Most of us had never met each other, yet we bonded and became a family instantly. We were the oldest kids at camp, getting to be counselors in training for the younger kids, planning color war, going on a 3-day camping trip, taking an 8-day trip across the East Coast, and so many more unique experiences. At home, I'm one of 4 Jewish kids and out of 300 in my grade. At camp, I'm part of one Jewish community, making me feel connected to everyone in a deeper way. This past summer, I felt the most connected to Judaism. In prior years, I would go through services, not really taking them in, and it felt like a routine that we would just get into. This year, though, it all seemed to come together for me. I felt comfortable and wanted to lead Shachrit in the morning when they would ask for volunteers. And the base I had knowing the words from Bethel made me more confident, and I was one of the more prepared kids. I'm really looking forward to Ramah Israel Seminar next year and tying it all together, being with the people from other Ramah camps for the whole summer. I feel like as I've grown, Ramah and Judaism have grown with me. Shana Tova.
Shana Tova, Yeshua to our teens.